Well, we're about ready to go. Randy Richardson is at center court. He's got the basketball. Jinyalu is going to jump center against Manyao. The second round of the NCAA tournament is underway here in Tampa. And the Florida Gators will control the tip.
And Iowa opens in a man-to-man, and the way a lot of people try to go after Florida is to really pressure the guards. You don't want to give them a lot of time to be looking inside.
Yeah, that seemed to be the work they were doing yesterday in their practice. Lee works off the screen. Shot clock is under 10. Flan tells everybody to flatten out. Shot clock is at 3. Boogie Flan into the paint, navigating off the glass, and he has the first bucket for the Gators.
Boy, he barely beat the clock. That is the Iowa pace, folks.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what the Hawkeyes are able to do.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes do tend to run the shot clock down. A little alley-oop tipped away by Chinua. I tell you what, it's Chinyalu's so difficult inside, and Lee running the floor, lays it in.
And of all the things that Iowa can afford, turnovers that lead to easy baskets by Florida are at the very bottom of the list, if they're on the list at all.
There's Boogie Flan, who looks like he's covering Sturtz right out of the gate. Combs to the baseline. They bring it back up top. Bounce pass inside to Manyao. He kicks it outside for Banks for 3. No good. Loose ball. Rebound is pulled down by Condon. Condon tries to look in first, and there's the first foul on Manyao.
One thing Iowa knows is they've got to take care of the basketball, and I don't know why you'd be throwing a lob against those big guys anyway, and the easy basket is exactly what the Gators are looking for.
This corner 3 attempt, nope, he's going to go inside, stolen away by Sturtz. And Sturtz, a bounce pass ahead for Banks. Banks going up off the glass, and it's good. Iowa is a good defensive team, too. Flan for 3 from the left side, and a rebound on the weak side by Banks.
Now, Florida wants to play quickly, but I don't know that you want to take the shot that quickly, particularly given your size advantage. You know, it's an open shot.
Sturtz gets control, fadeaway jumper, nothing but net. That is a sweet stroke.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. You know, he did not have a great game, despite the fact he had 16 points. His shooting percentage in the first day on Friday was the lowest field goal percentage this season for him. Alley-oop, and it's a little too far. Banks is on the backside to peel it off.
Well, they got a big front line, but they're not that tall.
No. Holmes down to the baseline. Manyao's trying to pull Jinyalu away from the hoop. The runner off the glass, no good. The putback by Manyao is good. And Iowa takes its first lead. How thought about the 3. Lands and bring the free throw line, lost control. Iowa's intention yesterday was to not allow them to have easy catch and shots like that from Lee.
Everybody talks about how Florida has struggled shooting the 3, and they have, if you look at it on an entire year basis, but their three-point shooting has improved over the course of the season.
Yeah, and same with Xavier Lee. His overall game has improved as the season's gone on. Manyao facilitating the Banks. Sturtz with the shot clock winding down. He'll hold it for a moment, takes a way downtown 3, it's no good, and the ball tipped into the hands of Flans. He does have that range, there's no doubt. A little size advantage for Florida. Lee open again for 3, wide open for 3, no good. But he gets his own rebound. He'll lean it in, off the front of the rim, and it's down.
That's a play where Tavion Banks got knocked down, and it's like he stayed on the ground to try to emphasize to the official that he got knocked down, and by not getting back up quickly, he enabled Lee to get that rebound.
4 minutes into this first half, the #1 seed with a 3-point lead. Combs snaking, leaves it for Banks, little contact, and the roll.
And interestingly enough, Iowa in most of their early possessions shooting the ball much more quickly than we saw the other night.
Land assessing with Sturtz on his hip. Hauk forcing his way to the basket, and a blocking foul is called on Koch. Well, this pace has been a little heftier than we anticipated. Xavier Lee has come out shooting from beyond the arc and inside the paint for the Gators. All right, Jamie, thank you very much. You knew he was looking forward to playing Kansas game. Houck will go to the free throw line. And he converts. Watch every men's game live on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now to stay up to date on all the action. And Houck makes both free throws. It's a solid free throw shooting team when you talk about the bigs for Florida.
But we talked about the bigs and how they're the centerpiece of this offensive team. But so far, that's the first 2 points the bigs have scored. The guards have all the others.
Yeah, Lee has 7. Bulgaris, who had a good game in day 1. And there's a foul on Florida. It was an important victory the other day for Florida, AJ, for a number of different reasons.
It was dominant, Tom, and it was just what was needed, according to Todd Golden, who says that this team, they had a humbling loss against Vandy in the SEC tournament just 9 days ago. And now he says they have a little of their confidence, their swag back, and more importantly, they played with purpose. He says they're going to have to do the same against this difficult Iowa team tonight, guys.
And they got everybody into the game, and just about everybody contributed. Now, that won't be the case tonight. At least they don't think it will be. Banks kicks it up top. Bulgaris for 3. It's good. He had a big game. He points to the sky in memory of his dad, who passed away when he was 9, and he's tied this game at 11. Under 15 to play. Flans trying to bring the defense down to kick it out. They're the bigs, Houck and Condon. Good catch by Hand, locked in high-low, and the jam is off the mark. The putback is off the mark.
That ball slipped out of his hand.
I think the Florida fans thought there was a foul there, too.
Well, they're not exactly objective, but...
Thinking with their hearts instead of their minds. Here's Combs. Combs to the middle of the floor. Pull up Jay. Tried to get contact and locked in with the rebound. Land leading the break. This pass went into the bench of Iowa. Talk about Iowa and its slow pace. It's not that slow right now. Their first round game against Clemson, Dan, they had 53 possessions.
They're going to have more than that today. And one of the reasons they're not playing as slowly as they normally play is this Florida defense is right up in their faces. And I think the Florida defense doesn't mind if Iowa drives by because they've got those big guys along the back line.
Florida's already turned the ball over 3 times in this first half. Bulgaris again. This one no good. Rebound by Houck. Land quickly going up. Condon trying to get position. He does. Bulgaris is called for the foul from behind. Second round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues tonight on ESPN and ESPN2. For more info on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com.
And what you just saw is going to be a problem all night for Iowa because Florida is in a position where they've got their guys who can post up, they can spread you out a little bit, and it's really hard to bring help.
Outside for Houck for 3, no good, and Bulgaris with the rebound. He had another open look. Sturts off the screen. Slavjar has him. Sturts so far 1 for 2 from the floor. Has attempted 1 long 3. He averages 20 points per game. Bulgaris again, little head and shoulder fake, slipping it inside for Mannion, cut off.
Bulgaris has to take that shot.
And now Houck, slight double team. Flan for 3, too strong. And Sturts with the board. Sturts going right to the rim. Sturts with a beautiful finish.
Right away, the ball's coming right back at you. There's no place to relax.
And Flan fouled going up.
And this is very early in the shot clock. I think he surprised Slavjar, but you can't relax. That ball goes in the basket. You got to turn and sprint back because Florida's getting it in and coming right after you.
It'll send Boogie Flan to the free throw line, 73% shooter. Flan, who last year spent the season at Arkansas, had a thumb injury which cost him a lot of the season. too strong on the free throw. Was going to go to the NBA, but it just didn't seem like it was heading down the right path. And then a meeting with Todd Golden led him to Florida. And he's and Xavier Lee have built up this great friendship as the years gone on, and that's made Florida even better in the backcourt.
It took Lee a while to adjust from playing in Princeton to playing in the SEC. Fland, you mentioned, had that thumb surgery, spent a lot of time injured. It just takes a while to blend in. Florida played a really tough schedule early, but boy, have they been good lately.
Yeah, they started 5-4, but they have really closed on a high note. Fulgaris waiting for a cut. Gets it to Sturts. He'll get it back. Tough catch. Lost it underneath. Foul going up.
Fulgaris did a great job hanging in there with that. That was not the world's greatest pass from Bennett Sturts, but he was able to corral it in the crowd.
Yeah, the foul is on Isaiah Brown.
Now, let's emphasize that it's not that Iowa can't play fast. It's just that they would prefer not to do so.
First shot is good. It's time to start your engines because TNT Sports is back as your home for NASCAR this summer. Tune in beginning June 28th on TNT and streaming on HBO Max. Second shot is good. Yeah, Ben McCollum said, I don't think we probably focus on pace as much as people think. He said it's irrelevant to me. It's just a matter if we could put the ball in the basket more than they do. Wow. Which you've been saying for the last couple of days. Sturts comes out of the pile with the basketball.
You know, it's a pretty easy game. You score more points than the other guys, you win. So doesn't matter how, if you do it quickly or slowly.
Somewhere Nolan Richardson is smiling that you're saying that again.
I hope so.
Sage in the game for the first time for Iowa. 8 minutes into this first half. Sturts with contact off the glass. It's
how does he make those kind of shots?
This is a 9-1 run, Dan, for Iowa. They've built a 5-point lead. But again, a seasoned Florida team. How thought about it?
I think you need to think about going inside. You got a tremendous advantage in there.
Haug for three. Again, a little too much on it. And Maniau knocked it out of bounds. Bennett Sturts. He may be a little cool from beyond the arc, but he's very comfortable inside it. Has a 5-point lead. They've kind of frustrated Florida, and moments ago A.J. Ross caught up with Todd Golden.
Coach, Iowa on a 9-1 run here. You noted how pace is going to be important in this one. What more do you want to see from your guys as they settle in here?
All right, we just got to make some shots. We got to value the basketball a little more. We had 3 turnovers that led to at least 4 points for them right there. I think we're getting some good looks. We got to get a little closer on those shots and then get back. They made some tough shots. We'll be all right, but we got to be better offensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
You know, Iowa does lead the Big Ten in turnovers forced with 13, so this may not be that much of an anomaly.
Well, what's sort of an anomaly is I think Florida's going a little bit too fast. You know, they want to play quickly, but they're going too fast at the moment.
And Chinyelu in and out around the rim.
And that's exactly where they should be going. They've now taken 13 shots, and 6 of them have been from beyond the three-point arc. And even though they can make them out there, that's not the best part of their game.
Yeah, they've gone 5 minutes now without a field goal. Combs into the land of giants. Outside, Fulgaris short.
And that's a shot. You're not going to make them all, but that's a shot Iowa has to make to win this game.
Glabjar to Lee. This is what they worked on yesterday. Iowa did in practice, trying to cut off the wing and quickly get to the corner when the pass is made, because they do like running the baseline.
He's out of bounds.
Yeah, Brown is way out of bounds on that. Another turnover. That's 4.
Brown, you can see right here, his foot is out of bounds.
Yes,
and
he's pretty far out of bounds.
I mean, he's very far out of bounds. The court is 50 feet wide and been that way for a long time.
17-12, Iowa on top. We near the halfway mark in this first half. Big Ten's had a good tournament. Ball's tipped out of bounds. All right, so here's some of the miscues that Todd Golden was talking about so far in this half.
And I think a lot of this is just they're going a little too quickly. I mean, of course, this missed dunk, you know, you're going to make that. But, I mean, I don't know what happened there, but it's just a symptom, I think, of Florida playing a little too fast. They just need to calm down and go play to their strengths, which is getting the ball inside.
Yeah, at least one touch inside. If it comes back out, it's okay.
Absolutely. I think the ball's got to be handled by somebody on the interior before you take a jump shot.
Sturts with the shot clock at 5. He'll get it back at the logo. He's defended well. Banks has it pinball around, stolen by Lee. Florida did a great job making sure Sturts did not have a clean look as the clock wound down. Hauk goes down low. Condon backing his way in against Koch. Power on power, pinballing, and he wanted to go down low. And Koch is called for that foul. That's his second.
Well, no help coming as they cleared that side, and Sturts got there, but just a little bit too late. And that's actually a pretty good defensive job by Iowa to make Condon catch the ball that far from the basket and have to dribble.
Well, he'll go to the free throw line. His first free throws of the day, and he converts. The only thing that tastes better than making it to March Madness is making it to the next round. So enjoy an ice-cold Coca-Cola and keep cheering for your team.
Problem for Iowa is Koch can be a very valuable contributor, but that's 2 fouls.
Yeah, Fulgaris is already back at the scorers table. Second free throw is no good. Good box out by Banks, because Chimulu is one of the best offensive rebounding bigs in the country.
Well, you've got to get a body on him and make sure that he doesn't overpower you.
Combs to Banks.
See, the court is totally spread. They're playing a 5-out offense.
Banks into the paint. Banks deadens it off the back of the iron.
It's hard to come and help when you've got to come that far, and Chimulu just had too far to go.
Off the screen, Hauk leaves it down low, cut off. 5 turnovers now for Florida.
That was a great job by Banks filling in on the backside.
You know, yesterday, Florida, or 2 days ago, Florida outscored Prairie View 64-10 in the paint. Right now, it's 10-6 Iowa in the paint. To the corner, Koch for 3. And the rebound by Magna. What a save as he was going down.
And they had 15 offensive rebounds Iowa did against Clemson.
Sturts lets it fly. A little bit of an air ball. Well, a lot of bit of an air ball. Condon has it knocked away from behind. They're going to call a foul on Combs.
That's probably a break for Florida, because Condon, he does a lot of things, but I'm not sure if you're Todd Golden, you want him bringing the ball up the court that fast. There's nobody around him, and he's showing off his ball handling skills, but I don't know that this is the time for that.
Boogie Flands will start this offense for the Gators. 6 fouls for Iowa. So the next one will send Florida to the free throw line. Condon, leaner, didn't lean enough, and the rebound by Fulgaris and Ataya.
Ooh.
And the possession.
Fulgaris hit it.
Watch out. Todd Golden goes into the pile. He's got to be careful too. Chimulu trying to separate. He's pushing his team away.
You know, they're going for that ball, and Condon certainly took him down, but I don't know what you saw, but I thought Fulgaris punched him.
Joe Lindsay, Bert Smith, Randy Richardson, they'll get together. They'll obviously look at this, but watch how this whole action unfolds.
Right there, they grab the ball, and they're just really fighting for it, and Condon's trying to get the ball away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Fulgaris is probably out of this game. I don't know if he made contact or not, but it was close. And Todd Golden is red hot on the sidelines.
Well, that's, you know, look up the punch in the dictionary, and that's what you'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, you just can't do that.
Wow.
Now the officials
They're
have
trying to calm
this
everybody down because they're showing the replay here in the building, and Todd Golden is apoplectic.
All right, Bert Smith.
Give the guys a chance to figure out what's going on.
This is a senior officiating crew. It's been a long time since we've seen something like that, particularly in an NCAA tournament game. One more look.
But it's very aggressive, very physical play by Condon. Oh, he hits the ball. Okay, all right. Well, that angle there looked different. He made a fist, but he hit the ball. You know, we may end up with this as just being a held ball.
And that's where they saw it. They went back and watched it.
Yeah, but
Well, as they peel this back, we'll go to Gene Steratore in the studios. Gene, what'd you see and what do you think?
I'm watching what you're watching. If Philgaris, who is swinging a clenched hand, a kind of a fist, if he punches the ball and makes contact with it, I think you can put it on that, away from the flagrant 2. But if he does make contact with Condon's chest there with the closed hand in the initial contact, it's a little bit, it's tight for me to see completely. It does appear to me that it looks like he's hitting him in the chest. If he does, they could elevate that, and I think will elevate it because it's a closed fist to a flagrant 2, fellas.
Gene, do you think they could elevate it to calm things down too, or did they not look at it that way?
Not in this situation, Tommy. I wouldn't think you're going to do an ejectable offense here, right? You're not going to eject a player unless you have those pieces. It's not a calming effect play. If you're looking to calm something right now, you may offset technical fouls or something to that effect. I think the guys and officials do a great job getting in there, separating. It's intense, and you're fighting for held balls and things of that nature. But a closed fist now makes things a little different when the officials are looking at it.
And that's absolutely right. But in looking at that, the more times we look at it, the more I think that fist never made contact with Condon's chest. He may have hit him in the hand because I thought he was trying to punch the ball. But the fist, I mean, you know, Gene just said, if it doesn't make contact with the chest, then it's a flagrant 1. If it does, then it's a flagrant 2. But as he goes down, he's trying to get the ball. Watch the right hand. Here's the fist. That never makes contact with the chest. He may have made contact with Condon's hand, but he's trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, I guess,
oh my heavens.
I guess you can't really assume.
This is the last thing anybody needs.
Here comes Randy Richardson. He'll talk to Dan.
We have a jump ball. The whistle was the deciding factor on stopping the play.
So a jump ball.
Have a double contact dead ball technical foul.
And a double contact technical foul.
They're gonna play off the arrows. It'll be Iowa's ball.
And they'll play off the arrows, and it'll be Iowa's ball. So there's a lot there.
Well, but that's what Gene said.
Yes,
he said if they're going to calm things down, you call it double technical, and that's what they did.
So, Gene,
and you know what, Tom and Danny, I mean, the fact that they had the held ball, which creates a dead ball situation, right? So now we're in a dead ball situation. If we have physical activity between both players, again, without a punch directed to them, I think you are in a good place to say offsetting dead ball contact technical fouls. We're in a dead ball scenario there. So I really think at this point, as you said, Dan, you don't think that there's that punch thrown to the chest and you have something of that nature. This is probably the best result to put this game in somewhat of a, calming fashion to get it back down and let's go play basketball again.
Well, I think
it's the right call.
Yep.
I think it's the right call because he did not punch him in the chest. I originally thought he hit him, but as you look at the replay, he did not. He hit the ball.
Well, Gene, thank you, and thank you for all your hard work this weekend.
After review, we have a double dead ball contact technical foul. After the whistle's blown, we will have a technical foul on 21 white and 7 black. We will resume play with the alternating possession arrow.
And I think when you look at Condon getting the technical too, Dan, it's ripping him or throwing him down to the floor.
There's no question that Condon, after the whistle, pulls him down to the floor. But that's the best way to do it. It's a foul on Condon. It's a foul on Philgaris, and it's the jump ball anyway. It was Iowa's ball, so let's play, guys.
Yeah, Philgaris is out. Condon stays in. And it's Iowa basketball up 6. And the energy level of this game is taken on a whole new level. And then Iowa scores on the subsequent possession.
Iowa does a great job spreading the court and using those ball screens to create space. And I'm telling you what, Tavion Banks is having a big game here early.
Yeah, 8 points so far for Banks, but also his work on the defensive end. He's to the free throw line, 81%. Too strong. Ball tipped around. Maniau with the rebounds. Sturts back to Banks to the corner. Sage going right up, getting contact, kissing it off the glass. 10-point lead for the Hawkeyes. No field goals in more than 8 minutes for the Gators.
I think you got to get the ball inside.
Bland to the corner. Lee for three. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds off the hands of the Hawkeyes. 15-2 run. You think the players are fired up, right? They are. The coaches, well, they're equally as juiced up about a chance to go to the Sweet 16. And Jamie, the first time that St. John's and Duke faced each other was back in February of 1938. So they've got a long history together. And that should be a good one next week. That was an amazing finish. We've had some really good finishes so far this weekend. Lee off the inbounds. 7:45 to play in the first half. Shot clock is down under 10. They try to go inside, and Maniau is going to be called for a hooking foul. By the way, moments ago, A.J. Ross caught up with Ben McCollum.
High. A double technical was just called. What did you say to your team to get them in the right mindset going forward?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're just going for the ball, and then everybody got all sensitive, and their people got sensitive, and it's like they're trying to play ball. But it's whatever. We'll compete. We'll fight. We'll see what happens.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Everybody got sensitive, Dan.
Well, that's one word you could use for it.
Run into the 1-and-1 is good. Iowa now has 3 players with 2 fouls, so we were told there might be a surprise as far as the players go for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I think with the foul trouble, you know, they've had to sort of dip into their bench a little bit. Trevin Urach, the 6'11" from West Des Moines, Iowa, is in the game.
And on the season, he has played a grand total of 133 minutes in 16 games. But they had to do that. Koch has 2 fouls. Maniau has 2 fouls.
Got to buy some time. Up by 8. Combs to the free throw line. Oh, that's not a great pass. Handled by Sage. Banks in the paint. Fadeaway jumper. He's fouled. They'll get Condon, and it'll send Banks to the free throw line. So the early foul trouble for the Hawkeyes.
And those are their inside guys. Those are their regular inside guys. And even though Florida is trailing in the game, they're having the fouls start to pile up against the Iowa inside players.
That is the second foul on Condon, by the way. Banks free throw, no good. Iowa 77% as a team for the free throw line.
And these are opportunities you have to make. He's now missed his last 2 free throws.
And he makes that one.
There's Fulgaris. He was in the center of that scrum. Caused the sensitivity levels to rise.
Chinyelu hands it off to Condon, or to Houck, excuse me. Houck cut off. Condon in the paint, picks it out for Lee, open for 3, yes! He's definitely playing with more confidence.
Well, he's been the main offense.
10 points for Lee. Urach has it stolen away by Lee. Lee sprinting to the basket. Lee, oh, he missed the layup. And they run for the loose ball. It's saved by Flan, explodes to the hoop, and he was out of bounds. Joe Lindsay was right on that. Oh.
Well, this is a really nice job by Sage to get back there and pressure. I mean, Lee expected him to go for the block, and he didn't. And he sort of short-armed the thing. This has been a strange game. Strange,
yet entertaining first half. For a chance to move on to the Sweet 16. Sturts from 3. Sturts, no good. And Houck with the board, a rebound, and a foul by Sage. And still 1-and-1 opportunity.
And this is an issue for Iowa. You know, you want to battle for the offensive rebounds, but you have to be selective. You can't just go jumping against these guys, particularly jumping over their backs.
Out to the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 so far, and he missed the front end of the 1-and-1.
And Uric violated. Stepped in too soon. I mean, this is the problem. You play a guy that you put him in, and he just doesn't. He hadn't played that much.
Oh yeah, he was definitely in early.
You can't go until the shooter releases the ball.
And that time Houck makes the first to get a second.
And that's, think about how important that is. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and so now you give him the opportunity. If he makes this, you've just given away 2 points by getting into the lane too early.
You know, the transfer from Princeton is leading the way for the Gators with 10 points. Xavier Lee, who closed out all of his social media after the first few weeks of the season because life was not going well for him. But he's a good player, and he's turned into a huge asset for the Gators. And Houck makes both free throws, and here come the Gator fans. Banks, right side of the lane. Banks stumbles, picked up by Sage, and a foul is called. That's on Houck. That's his first.
Well, Banks has been very active, and here he just stumbles. They run into him. Fans not happy with this one. But Houck did step on his foot, and that caused him to go down. And Fulgaris is over at the table with those 2 fouls, waiting to report in.
Banks to the line. He'll get 2. Makes the first. Keep the adrenaline going. HGTV designers and celebrity partners go head-to-head renovating 4 Vegas homes on Rock the Block, April 13th at 8 on HGTV. Second shot. Well, he makes both.
Well, I think, again, given the foul trouble that Iowa's experiencing, you try to get the ball inside.
Chinyelu sets the screen. Houck open for 3. Houck's 3. Rattles in and out. And Sturts comes out with the rebound.
And that was a great block out by Sturts.
Yeah, against a physical team that rebounds so well like Florida, you got to go so far back to basics on how to box out.
But particularly your guards have to be able to rebound. Your big guys block them out. Your guards got to chase it down.
Banks initiating some contact. Boy, it is physical. Banks going up. And a jump ball. The possession goes to the Gators.
This is a situation where Iowa does a really good job spreading the court. But here, Banks gets in there. Nobody's moving. He's got no place to throw the ball. Somebody's got to be in that corner so he can turn and kick it back.
Isaiah Howard comes in for the first time for the Hawkeyes. Gators are 1 for their last 12 from the floor. And Lockton is in again. So is Klavjar. Condon facing up. Fulgaris has 2, and Condon can't get the hook to go down, and he gets the rebound.
Really good defense by Fulgaris. You know, you've got to pressure him, but you got to be careful not to foul.
Sturts is 3 of 6 from the floor, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Sage is wide open in the corner. He lost control, got it back. Shot clock's winding down, lets it go, and it's an air ball. And it's going to be a turnover.
Again, I think Fulgaris passed up an open shot. I know they're comfortable running the shot clock down, but when you have an open shot with 5 or 6 seconds left on the shot clock, you have to take it.
The lead is 6 for the Hawkeyes.
And the pace of this game has slowed way
Yes, it
down.
has. Klavjar for 3. It's good. He was bumped by Sturts. He tried to draw the foul, and Sturts is limping. Well, he seems okay. 26-23. Banks heads to the rim. Banks off the glass.
Wow, what a move that was.
He shot it when he was coming down after the contacts.
Jim Brown used to limp too.
And Mickey Rivers, who played for the Yankees, used to limp and then explode. You and I just limp just because we limp.
Because that's what we are.
Lamjar. Cut off, a little hedge up top. That's a really good leaner. Condon realized there was a little space that he can use his frame to go in. Land is on Sturts. Sturts with 10 on the shot clock. Back to Fulgaris. Fulgaris is fouled going up. And Logden picks up his second. 2:54 to play. Banks has had a fantastic first half with 13 points. Condon realizing the middle was open and there might be a little contact. Tampa's been a terrific host for the first round of the NCAA tournament. Iowa's on top 28-25, and time to take a look at the strongest defense presented by Degree.
And the Iowa defense has been outstanding. They're doing a great job with their switching out on the top, making it difficult for the guards to find players inside. And then when it gets inside, they're doing a nice job pressuring the ball. Now, the fouls are piling up. You know, interestingly, here's the Gators with 7 turnovers. Iowa leads in this game 16-8 in points in the paint, and that's something you never would have anticipated. They're 10 for 12 from inside the arc are the Hawkeyes.
Fulgaris cans the first free throw. Yeah, and don't forget against Prairie View, and I know it's a different level of opponent, but they outscored Prairie View 64-10 in the paint. Second shot is good, 30-25.
Well, we keep saying throw the ball inside, but you have to have room and you have to have space so you can see inside.
Condon going right to the rim, and Logden couldn't get the putback to go down, and Banks with the rebound.
He mistimed his jump. He was afraid to hit it because the ball was on the rim.
Chinyulu's at the scorer's table. He does not have a rebound yet for the Gators.
Well, the pressure they're putting on the perimeter as Chinyulu's not been involved at all. They can't get him the ball.
Fulgaris out of the pile, swings it to the corner. Extra pass for Sturts for 3. No good. Pushback is no good again. Banks with the rebound, swatted away, and a foul. That foul is on Hauk. That'll be his second. And Banks with 13 points will go to the free throw line. So now you have 3 Florida players with 2 personal fouls. Coming up on AT&T at the half, get all the scores and highlights, plus the latest NCAA tournament news. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Banks' second free throw. And that one he feeds the front of the rim, takes a nice little spin. He has 14.
See if they can get Chinyulu involved.
Yeah, they wanted to try the high-low. That's what they do first. They try to look in. Flan, pull up Jay. Good.
It's a nice job to recognize that you've got the mid-range shot. It's an open shot. Don't try to drive the ball all the way to the basket.
Howard off the screen. Inside for Banks. Banks to the paint. Little double team. Shot clock is at 5. Combs. Uh-oh, up top for 3. No good.
They're now 1 for 13 from beyond the arc are the Hawkeyes.
Flan leaves it down low, and again for the baseline. Alex Condon through the clouds. And a timeout is called. Todd Golden is trying to get his fan base up on their feet. I think that slam did enough to charge him up. Our game summary, you know, we could sit down and sort of dice up how we think a game's going to go. I don't know if we anticipated 10 for 13 from 2 and 1 for 11 from 3 for Iowa.
Yeah, I said 1 for 13. Obviously, I got a little bit ahead of myself, but Iowa has really done a nice job inside. You can see outscoring Florida 16-10 with points in the paint, and that's certainly not what we expected.
Well, Iowa will inbound the basketball with 1:08 on the clock. 2.4 is listed on the shot clock. I don't think that's right. Yeah, they'll reset it. And they'll get it into Sturts.
Sturts is 0 for 4 from beyond the arc, and he's had a couple of open looks.
Yeah, 3 for his last 14 in this tournament. Flan's done a nice job on him, pushing him out. Howard. Shot clock is under 10. Bounce pass to Sturts to the elbow. Now to the corner. And Chinyelu is called for the foul. That's his second. They have 4 players now with 2 fouls. Now we're in the waning seconds of the first half. So it'll be a little different going into the second half.
Yeah, but if some of those guys pick up the third early. Oh my.
Howard scored over 3,000 points in high school. Timeout called by Florida with 46.9 to play. We'll be back in 30 seconds for what we think will be an eventful last 46 seconds. Dan, Iowa's led for more than 12 minutes of this game. There's been a couple of ties, but now Florida with 46.9 to play can pull even or even take the lead in what has been somewhat of a rock fight in this first half.
Yeah, and you'd think a rock fight would favor Iowa, and for the most part in the first half it has, but Florida, they just keep the pressure on. They've done a really nice job defensively with Sturts.
Flan speeds up into the backcourt. Peppers the paint, curls left side. Nice, smooth kiss off the glass. Last possession, it seems, for Iowa. 3-second difference, shot clock, game clock.
Sturts is out there telling Combs 1 shot.
Sturts down in the corner. Urich with the screen, tough shot, it's good. Cale Combs spinning through the paint. Now 3 seconds left. Fland, as the horn comes close to sounding, goes out of bounds and hit the net.
Well, 0.3 seconds. If they leave 0.3 seconds on, that's not enough time to catch the ball. The only thing you do is tip it. So
yeah, Ben McCollum's asking them to see if there's more time on the clock. Joe Lindsay's not going to do it. That'll do it for the first half. Iowa on top 33-31. Ben McCollum wanted more time put on the clock.
Well, it's not like they were going to put another 14 seconds on the clock. I think this is a wasted argument.
Well, he's going to go into the locker room with a 2-point lead. Well, he's wide open underneath, too. Condon is. It looked like there was a.
I'm not sure the clock should have stopped at all. That ball was never out of bounds.
Right,
it's not out of bounds until it touches out of bounds.
AJ is with Tavian Banks.
Tavian, emotions really peaked in that first half, especially after that double technical. What did you like about the way you all responded?
We was meant physical. We responded with physicality. Both teams are very physical. They're a good team. We're a good team. We're a very physical team. So we just got to – it's the tougher team that's going to win. So the first half really showed what's going on in the game. So the second half it's like crunch time right now.
You guys forced 7 turnovers. You've been banging on the glass. How do you carry that effort over into the second half?
The coaches be preaching about it, so I just do my job and try to get the rebound and every 50-50 ball.
Well, good luck. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Iowa with a 2-point lead. That's the end of the first half. We'll send you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You are watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Winding down halftime here in Tampa. Let's take a look at our Invesco QQQ first half stats. Iowa's on top 33-31, despite the 1 for 11 shooting from beyond the arc in what has been a very physical game. Moments ago, A.J. Ross caught up with Xavier Lee.
Xavier, you were down 10 at one point, but you guys rallied back. What do you guys have to do to dictate pace and play your game here in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to execute in the half court and get stops and try and run off that. But they're doing a good job. You know, we can play a lot better, and we got to finish easy ones.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, it's been, I think, a little more physical than we thought it was. Yeah, right? A little more physical than we thought.
Well, a lot more physical, I think.
There was actually a play at the end of the half that we discussed that there was a potential foul on Chinyelu, that we looked at it again, and it could have been even more than just a foul.
Coming from the left-hand side of your screen, we got Chinyelu circled there watching. Boom. He hits Urok, and down he goes. And we thought Ben McCollum was complaining about the time on the clock, but he wasn't. That's what he was talking about right there, and you know, that's one that the officials missed.
It was great to confer with Gene on that. He saw it from New York that there was a possible F1. Here's Iowa out of the halftime break. Maniau goes down low, and a foul called right out of the gate. And it's going to send Tavian Banks back to the free throw line. It's the third foul on Chinyelu.
Well, now Chinyelu, think about this. He averages 11 points and 11 rebounds a game. He hasn't scored, and he has 1 rebound, and that's because he's been in foul trouble.
Meanwhile, Banks had a very good first half, 14 points. And he missed the free throw.
Boy, he's missed some opportunities from the free throw line. He's now 4 for 8 from the line, and one of those misses was the front end of the 1-and-1.
Second shot to make it a 3-point game. And he does. Iowa, the number 9 seed, has not gone to the Elite 8 since 1999. Meanwhile, Florida, of course, the defending national champions. Bounce pass to Lee. Beautiful backdoor pass. Lee, the transfer from Princeton, looked like they took a page out of the Princeton playbook. 34-33. And Lee got his hand on it. Sturtz will run it down. Florida wanted some contact at midcourt.
I'm not sure they should have reset the shot clock.
Combs, Banks. Pass up top, cut off by Boogie Flan. Flan, he can give Florida the lead. Florida last year on their road to the national championship, when they were trailing at halftime, they won 3 of those games. So even though there's a lot of different players this year, they were used to it last season. Lee for 3, no good. Deadens off the glass. Here comes Combs into the open floor and an easy bucket.
Boy, not only did Lee miss it, he fell down, and with that long rebound, Combs is able to get down the court very easily.
Plans. Slight bounce pass to Condon. There's that help coming in from Sturtz. Condon lost it. Condon lost it again, and it's knocked out of bounds. Combs
Lee goes down. Combs went for the block, and so he's all alone under the basket. Great recognition. You know, it's funny. We talked about how Florida wanted to play at a fast pace, but the fast break points are now 6-2 in favor of Iowa.
Condon hopping to the basket off the glass, got a great angle.
What a quick move off the dribble by a 7-foot guy.
Second team All-SEC selection. Over 1,100 points in his career. Last year he sprained his ankle in the Sweet 16, so he wasn't moving the way he moved there. Sturtz down low. Maniau reversed his field and laid it in.
And Maniau's another guy who's been a non-factor because of foul problems. That was a great pass from Sturtz.
Again, the points in the paint favor Iowa in this ball game. Shot clock to 10. Lee looking for the screen. Chinyelu. Hauk into the paint. Hop, skip, and a jump. And he's fouled going up. Got a little bit of a shove early in this possession. Oh, that's a shove.
You know, I think you should talk to Koch about whether it's a little bit of a shove or not. He probably would disagree with you.
The assessment from 40 feet away wasn't right on, was it? Hauk converts the first one.
Well, Hauk that time, I mean, it's the shot clock is running down, but he caught the ball on the run and just drove right into the lane. And I think that that's what Florida's got to do more of, particularly with their big guys.
Hauk, who talked about all of his teammates scoring the other night, he said it was so good for everybody. He goes, listen, they're all hoopers, so it's nice that they got an opportunity. Little different story right now. Combs again initiates the same move. Banks for three. It's good. Banks only made 17 up until this game, but he was wide open.
But he's a very high percentage shooter and made 45% of the ones he shot. And that was just great ball movement.
They spend so much time at practice doing that kind of a drill. Shot clock is under 10 for the Gators. Lee with the shot clock at 4. Swings it down to the baseline. That's a great catch by Condon. And Maniau picks up his third.
Well, the defense collapses because of the drive, and the cut through the lane draws another defender, so nobody's anywhere close to Banks.
Tavian Banks last year 2 for 22 from beyond the arc. This year 17 of 38. You're right, that's a pretty good percentage. And Condon trying to draw Florida closer. Watch whip around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break, presented by The Home Depot and the March Madness Live app. And now the second shot. Condon trying to get to double figures. And he missed. Ball's tipped around. And Fulgaris comes out of the pile with it.
But Fulgaris, he was in the middle of everything in the first half, but Maniau's out of the game again. And he's their most athletic and physical inside player. But he's got the 3 fouls.
Does it help that Chinyulu's on the bench too, with Maniau out?
Well, Hen Longton is 7 feet tall, well, so I don't know.
And Koch cans the 3. The lead is up to 7. It's only the second three-pointer made tonight for the Hawkeyes. Excuse me, the second one of this half. And an offensive foul. Koch again got position.
And Koch, I mean, he's got to be careful. That's now 3 fouls on Condon, but Koch could have picked up his 3rd foul.
15:47 left to play here in the second half. 7-point lead. The physicality continues. Iowa and Florida for a chance for the Sweet 16. Iowa and Florida have turned into a physical match here in Tampa. It started from the outset.
Well, you're absolutely right, Tom. This game is many things, but finesse is not one of them. These guys are really going at one another. This is the latest there. And the important thing about that last one was that was Condon's 3rd personal foul. So now you have Condon with 3 fouls and Chinyulu with 3 fouls. Maniau, as we mentioned, for Iowa on the bench with 3 fouls.
And here's Bennett Sturtz, whose last field goal made was at 12:01 to play in the first half. He's without a 3-pointer.
Florida's done a really nice job keeping him away from spots where he scored.
Yeah, Boogie Fland has really been excellent on him. Fulgaris is able to slither that one in.
That's pretty smart by Fulgaris. Condon's got those 3 fouls.
Fulgaris has 9 points. Ben McCollum said he unlocks things for us. He's a really good passer. He can shoot. And he can drive. And we just saw the drive. And Condon answers. That's a good seal down low by Hen Longton.
But Iowa didn't do a good job rotating back that time. They had too many guys in the middle of the lane, and nobody was able to get back to Condon. Of course, I wouldn't want to get in front of Condon either.
7-point lead for the Hawkeyes, who have been perfect over their last several trips up the floor. There's the hedge. Sturts from the corner. Cans it. It's a 2-point field goal. Still without a 3, but a 2-point field goal.
But that's a really, really tough shot. Shot clock running down over a 7-footer.
There's a steal by the Hawkeyes. Fulgaris bounce pass to Sturts. Skips it around. Koch thought about it, releases. He got it to go.
What a great job moving the ball, passing up one good shot to get a better one by a better 3-point shooter.
Timeout called by the Gators. Iowa's largest lead of the night. Our tournament summary, did Cinderella go home? Well, Texas hasn't gone home yet.
Texas isn't Cinderella.
They're a good team.
Absolutely, and they're like a great program.
Yep, and Big Ten dominance. The Big Ten has really had a very nice tournament so far.
Absolutely.
And they have another one that's actually up in this one. AJ's been listening into the Florida huddle. What do you got, AJ?
Tom, Todd Golden was lighting into his team, saying, we're getting punked. He says he wants them to play tighter defensively. They can't keep going under screens on the perimeter. They have to rotate better from the weak side. And he said, make stops, get out in transition.
Yeah, all good points. There's no doubt.
Well, it is, but I think their problems are more on the offensive end than the defensive end.
Bumping foul on Koch,
which is his 3rd. So and we've got a lot of time left in this game, and the fouls are starting to pile up, and I think Florida's able to deal with foul trouble a little bit better than Iowa.
Hauk for 3. It's good. He splashed it home. That'll ease things a little bit within 9. Again, it's like a home game here in Tampa. It's only about 2.5 hours from Gainesville, and the Gator fans have come in mass. Sturts against Hauk. Step back jumper is no good. Air ball. It's caught though. Shot clock didn't reset. Sturts has got to let it go again. Shot clock at 2. Banked it. In and out. And Hauk faked the handoff, goes right up, gets his man off his feet, and he'll get a couple free throws. Second one on Banks.
Well, now, obviously, when you play really good defense and you create some scoring opportunities, and Hauk does a nice job. I mean, he just puts his head down and goes. That's 2 fouls on Banks.
With 13:13 to play. Hauk is 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Now 7 for 7. The work never stops in the pit. Catch up on the Emmy award-winning series that critics are calling the absolute best show on TV. New episode streaming Thursdays at 9 p.m. on HBO Max. Makes another one. He's 8 for 8 from the free throw line. His relentless motor, and you can see his improved speed, has brought Florida within 7. Banks, Chinyelu. There's the double. Combs, as the shot clock winds down, they open the floor up. Combs switched his hand, got the
roll. What a roll that was.
Wow. 26-16 points in the paint. Hauk has it stripped away.
Question is, who did they get for the foul?
I think they gave it to Fulgaris.
Chinyalu's got to be a little bit careful. He's got those 3 fouls, but regardless, I thought he did a pretty good job.
It is Fulgaris who's called for his 3rd.
And Hauk is just doing a great job getting the ball into the scoring position quickly and forcing the defense to react.
8 for 8 from the line. First miss of the night. He's a good shot, though.
He's got a good-looking stroke.
He does.
I mean, he's such a smooth player. He just looks very comfortable out there on the basketball court.
And he converts the second one. Now, Iowa, your thought process is keep your foot on the gas. Don't change anything, right?
But no, don't change what you're doing. You don't want to go faster. You don't want to go slower. But you certainly don't want to pull the ball back now. I mean, there's 12.5 minutes left in the game.
Chinyelu on Fulgaris. Fulgaris gets free. He's bumped. That'll be number 4 on Chinyelu.
Chinyelu he has been out of sorts from the start. And Chinyelu, I mean, he is a very physical player. Comes down the court. There goes Cobb.
Wow. Fulgaris converts the first one. Bleacher Report is your one-stop destination for March Madness. Get every moment, all tournament long, with personalized updates and highlights from your favorite teams. Download the Bleacher Report app today. Fulgaris, who met with his mom for about 20 minutes before the first day of this tournament, hadn't seen her since August. She's back in Spain, but he said that lifted his spirits for that game 1, and it's carried over to this game 2. Klabjar and Fulgaris called for the foul. That'll be 4 on him.
And Fulgaris has been a really important offensive factor in this game. He's got 11 points. He's got 5 rebounds. And Klabjar, he just takes the ball and goes right to the basket. And Fulgaris, you've got to understand, you've got the 3 personal fouls. You've got to stay away. You know, those 2 points are not nearly as important as your 4th foul.
Well, Manial will check in with 3 fouls. Klabjar makes his first. So Fulgaris will sit.
Manial he's probably more athletic, probably a better rebounder, but he is not the offensive player that Fulgaris is.
He has 3 fouls. Koch has 3, 4 for Fulgaris. Meanwhile, Chinyelu has 4 for Florida. Condon has 3. Little pressure now by the Hawkeyes.
And that, I don't think they're trying to steal the ball. They're just trying to run time off the shot clock. But again, Iowa's a team that's very comfortable playing at the end of the clock.
Big time. Sturtz thought about it. Shot clock is winding down. Sturtz to the corner. Koch for 3. Too strong.
I don't take that shot every time.
But we got 4 on 4. 2 bodies falling to the floor. Condon and Houck thought about it high-low. I don't know if that's on Manial. That would be his 4th. Florida fans a little nervous right now with 11:25 to play. Some of the storyline tonight, you know, Florida's plus 15 for the year in rebounding margin, which is #1 in the country. And tonight, they are minus in the rebounding opportunity.
And they're not scoring inside, and they're not scoring on second chance points. And it's been an offensive slog for the Gators. Now, on the plus side, Houck in particular has started to attack the basket, and that's really caused some foul problems for Iowa. And then the other thing is, Florida only has 1 turnover in this half after turning it over 7 times in the first half.
You know, this is their 11th free throw of the half coming up, and they'll be shooting for the rest of the half because Iowa has 17 fouls. It'll be Condon to the line, front end of the 1-and-1, and he makes it. That's a lot of time to be at the free throw line. 11:25. And now the second shot to try to make it a 6-point game. And he does.
Well, what we're seeing with this pressure here is they're forcing Iowa to run almost 10 seconds off the shot clock before they get the ball in the front court, and that's fine with Iowa, but if you're going to run the clock down, you better be able to score at the end.
Boogie Fland has done a heck of a job on Sturtz tonight. There's a switch with Lee on Sturtz now. Shot clock is at 5. Under 11 to play. Combs tried to draw contact. He drew nothing, and it goes out of bounds.
And that is a great job by Condon to stay in front of Combs. Condon is 6'11", 236 pounds, and Combs is one of the quicker guards, and he stayed in front of him, forced a very difficult shot. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's fine to run time off the clock, but you better be able to score at the end.
Bounce pass down low, jamming it home is Alex Condon. Here come the Gators, down 4. It's a 6-0 run.
This is where, if you're Iowa, you really need Bennett Sturts to start making plays.
Lee cuts off Combs. Sturts leaves it down low for Maniau. That's a great two-man game. He just couldn't finish it.
Maniau sometimes has a tough time finishing. That's exactly what Iowa wanted. They just weren't able to convert.
And Howe trying to get some separation off the glass. Too strong. Ball tipped around out of bounds. It'll remain Florida basketball.
Just a great job by Klabjark, sensing that the defense is coming to him and catching Iowa in the middle of a rotation.
Off the inbounds, Klabjark, no good. And Koch with the board. Sturts 4 of 10 from the floor, 0 for 5 from beyond the arc.
Well, we said he had to make plays, and he made one there, but Maniau just wasn't able to convert.
Koch thought about it with the shot clock winding down. Whistle blows and a pushing foul on Lee.
That's only the 4th foul of the half against Florida. And there's no problem being aggressive in that situation. The more pressure you can exert against Sturts, the better.
Sturts, who's played 40 minutes or more 11 times this year, has played every minute of this game, every minute of the first day of the tournament. Koch working against Condon. Koch switched feet, no good. Maniau's putback is good. As we head toward the 9-minute mark here in the second half. The defending national champions down 57-51, and Maniau with the steal. 1-on-2, he dribbled it right off his foot.
You know, I know Maniau, he wants to go, but I think maybe he'd have been better off just pulling this up because he's 1-on-2. Of course, he didn't mean to dribble it off his foot. But the smart play right there is just to stop and wait for some help.
Isaiah Brown checks in. Klabjark, who's given the Gators a jolt off the bench.
Iowa has stayed in that man-to-man, and for the most part, their rotations have been really good.
Brown cut off on the double team. Condon initiating, and he got a free seal right to the basket.
You know, the lane is open there. Sometimes you just have to put your head down and go.
The lead is to 4. Condon has 10 points in the second half.
Well, he and Houck have both been really aggressive.
Really good. How about that? That was like a quarterback to a receiver, and it was cut off by the defensive back. Lee for 3. Yes! Gators are muscling their way back within reach, down by 1. Florida's down by 1, 57-56. Todd Golden told us yesterday, listen, we only have to make 1 of every 3 threes, and we'll be successful. Well, they've done that here tonight.
Well, and we talked about the fact that their struggles were mainly on the offensive end, and they made 6 of their last 8. Their defense has been really good. You know, Iowa likes to play at the end of the shot clock, and that's okay with Florida. They've put great pressure on the Hawkeyes at the end of the clock. No easy baskets.
And by the way, Boogie Fland has hold Sturts to just 2 second-half points. He's the 3rd leading scorer in the Big Ten. Eight minutes to play for a chance to move on to the Sweet 16. Sturts cut off by Fland. Shot clock at 5, goes right to the basket. He's fouled going up. I will say this about Bennett Sturts. He's faster than you think he is.
He's also completely unflappable. He looks up at the clock. He sees a lane. And look at him go. And Hauke got kneed in the thigh by Fland. But what a great dribble. He dribbles one way and then switches back. Misses the free throw, though.
There it is. Minutes last 16 games. He's been off the court for 7 minutes. And he makes one after missing one. It's back to a 2-point lead. He's an amazing story. Started his college career with Ben McCollum at Northwest Missouri State, then to Drake, now to Iowa. And a jam sandwich by Isaiah Brown.
And once again, it's Hauke and that aggressiveness on the dribble that draws the defense.
We are tied at 58. Iowa led it by 12.
Iowa playing a very small lineup at the moment.
Yeah, Brown is just settling into the paint defensively. Shot clock at 5. Sturts from the logo. It's too much. Lee with the rebound. Lee inside. Condon jams it home. Florida takes the lead. They were up by 3 in the first half, 11-8. They're up by 2 here in the second half. Koch from the corner, and the answer. And back and forth we go. We'll be back in 30 seconds with Iowa up by 1. What a back and forth game we've had. It's Iowa 61, Florida 60. This gave Iowa the lead, and it was raucous. But then Koch, he has 9 points this half with 3 threes.
That's a great job to find him open.
We revisit the foul trouble for both teams. Couple bigs have 4 fouls.
And Florida's also going a little bit smaller. They don't have Handlogton in the lineup. They have Brown in instead. So they're going with 2 bigs and 3 smaller guys.
Hauke for 3. It's good. Sage helps break the press.
Fulgaris back in the game as well.
Florida's red hot offensively in this half. And Koch fouled from behind. It's only the 16th foul for Florida.
You know, you just can't leave Hauke like that. But Hauke has really been effective driving the ball to the basket, and so you're more worried about the drive, and he just knocks it down.
Trouble getting it in. Fulgaris. Klavjar is covering Bennett Sturts. Sturts, step back 3, lets it fly. And a good box out by Brown.
And that's great defense.
Florida feeds down low, ball tipped away. Hauke gets it back.
He tracks it down.
Hauke's motor continues. Hauke motor continues to the basket. 4-point lead.
Iowa is in trouble.
Koch open. Well, that's a dangerous pass that he just looped over to the sideline.
What a great job by Condon, though, to hustle back and prevent the easy basket.
Sturts to the basket. He's fouled. We talked about how important the big men were for Florida. Well, this is the half, but it's not necessarily diving into the paint. It's everything.
Well, both of them have been able to get to the free throw line, and that's been very big. Hauke has made a couple of threes. But I thought Hauke really set the tone for the big guys in the second half, and in fact for the entire Florida offense by just attacking the basket off the dribble.
All right, Dan, Chinyelu has sat for 7 minutes. He's back in. He has 4 fouls. Maniau has 3. Sturts has both free throws. And it's 65-63. The combination of Condon and Howe kept 25 points this half. Let's see if Boogie Flan goes to one or the other. Howe just throws it up.
He fell down, but he was driving to the basket again.
Lee. Shot clock is at 3. He bobbles it, gets it to Howe, who lets it fly. No good.
Haven't heard from Banks in a while. And you'd really like to find Koch for an open 3 if you can.
Sturts to Koch. He'll let it go for 3. It's good. He made another one.
Well, maybe you don't even need an open 3.
And Iowa's back on top, 66-65. Under 4 minutes to play. Howe bobbled it, lost it, and hit the official right in the chops. They're going to give the ball to Florida, but I think Ben McCollum wants that looked at. It hit Randy Richardson right in the face, but who deflected it last? This has been as enjoyable a game as you will find in March Madness. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. Iowa challenged the last call, which was Florida basketball, and they've won the challenge.
After review, we have a successful coaches challenge by Iowa. It'll be Iowa's ball out of bounds.
Yeah, the
with
ball
30
hit
seconds on the shot clock.
There, and then Randy Richardson, who said he's okay.
Well, you can certainly see why Randy Richardson might miss that call. He's got a ball right in the nose.
Right in the nose.
Good Lord. Well, and what that means, of course, is Iowa still has 1 challenge left, and they keep their timeout. Had they lost it, that would have been their last timeout.
Lee is covering up Sturts. They get it back to him.
And Ben McCollum is telling him to back off.
Sturts, step back 3, no good, in and out. Ball is loose. And a foul is going to be called on Flan. I think they feel like Flan held Maniau.
I think the correct word is tackle.
Or tackled, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
He's got him.
He does have
got him wrapped up.
That's a good call.
Yes, a really good job by the official to notice that.
Maniau to the free throw line.
Where he's only 58%.
And he missed.
Now we're going to get a foul on Banks.
Banks holding.
Condon,
Yep.
and that's Banks' 4th foul. It has been a tough half for Maniau.
Well, it's going to send Condon to the free throw line. Iowa, by the way, now 14 of 21 from the free throw line, compared to Florida 17 of 22.
Well, and at least 2 of those misses for Iowa have been the front ends of 1 and 1.
That's right. Condon takes a breath. And around the rim and out, but Houck has it, and he threw it down to Maniau. That is going to wind up being a foul on Maniau. That'll be his 4th.
Well, he just beats, Maniau steps to the basket just a little bit too early. And then he does knock him out of bounds.
Houck is 9 of 10 from the line, 10 of 11. We have another tie with 3:23 to play in the second half. The winner of this game moves on to play Nebraska.
And you've got key guys out there for Iowa with 4 personal fouls.
But you kind of have to just ride it out at this point.
Absolutely.
Second free throw and the lead. There it is. 67-61. Crunch time. 8 lead changes so far. Sturts. Koch. Back to Sturts. Thought about it. Sturts from the middle of the floor. Sturts can't convert. But Banks with the rebound, and he's fouled. I don't think Lee feels like he did anything there.
Does a player ever feel like he does?
Nah, I don't think so. They're going to say it's on Condon. Oh,
Condon didn't get him in the face. And Banks, that's 4 on Condon now. And Banks, he's a really good free throw shooter. He struggled from the line today.
5 of 9 for the night, 81% for the year, and he missed another one. Wow. Florida looking to add to its lead under 3 minutes to play.
Big defensive series here for Iowa.
High-low works. What control underneath by Condon.
And what a pass.
They love to look in. It hasn't worked that often tonight, but it worked to perfection to give Florida a 3-point lead. Florida has a 3-point lead. They were down 12. Dan, if they are to hold on to this, this would be their largest comeback of the season. And it's kind of what Todd Golden said, how early on this year they weren't a finished product, and they've continued to get better as the season's moved on.
And they've gotten much better in this half on the offensive end. Now their defense, you know, Todd Golden said they gave up too many easy shots, and their defense has been very good. But their ability to get it going on the offensive end is the difference in this game.
Well, this is what's at stake. Iowa's trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999. Florida is pursuing another national championship and their 8th consecutive win in the NCAA tournament. Banks. Bulgaris up top for Sturts.
Now you've got to get a good shot here if you're Iowa. That's a great recovery by Lee to cut off that 3-point basket.
Bulgaris lost it. Shot clock is at 7. Bulgaris bounce pass to Banks, who jams it home.
That's great patience and movement by Iowa.
Lee with a tough catch. Lee going right up. Lee finishing.
So worried about him dumping it off to the big guys. Nobody picks him up.
And now we're all even with points in the paint. Both teams at 30. Man, some of these passes are dangerous. Bulgaris to Sturts. Knocked away. Loose ball. Florida's got it. With the 3-point lead.
Boy, Bulgaris threw that ball into a crowd. I know he's thrown it to Sturts, but there was 4 white shirts around him.
.120 to play. Fland hedged out by Bulgaris. Shot clock at 5. Fland lost it out of bounds. 3.5 to play. Florida's 8 of its last 9 from the floor.
Well, it's Koch got his hand in there and knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, they are going to look at this, though, with 1:10 to play. 3.5 on the shot clock.
Another Iowa challenge.
The coach from Iowa is challenging out of bounds on the floor.
Touch it last. We'll find out when we get back. Every possession matters as the clock is winding down. Iowa's challenging this call, which gives Florida the ball with 3.5 on the shot clock. Koch hits it there, but does Boogie Fland still have it? That's what Iowa saw. Gene, what did you see? Do you think Boogie Fland still has this ball?
I still think he's got that left hand after Koch touches it, Tom. I think they flip this, and Coach McCollum's challenge will be successful, yes.
But now if the challenge is successful, he still is out of challenges.
That's exactly right, Dan. If he's 2 for 2 today, you only get 2 shots at it, right? Even if you're right on both.
But it's important at this point with the way the score is.
Well, you need the ball.
You need the ball. Gene, thank you. We appreciate that. The officials are still taking a look at it.
From this angle right here, it does look like his left hand is still on that ball, that he's the last one to touch it. Certainly Koch touched it and caused the disruption.
And the call was, it's Florida's basketball. Yeah, his hand, that's a great look right there. All right, so they'll talk just momentarily, but this should be Iowa basketball.
Well, certainly that's what we see.
Yes.
But the question is it sufficiently definitive? Is it?
They also probably want to make sure they have the time right. 1:10 left to play.
Indisputable.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of calls this year where I know you feel this way, I feel this way, where you think it's going to go the other way, and the officials say, well, it's not crystal clear.
Right, and that's why they're over there and we're over here.
Mike Palau is the fourth official.
So if Iowa loses this challenge, then they have no timeouts left. But if they win the challenge, they get it back.
But again, with no challenges.
After review of the coach's challenge by Iowa, it is successful. It will be Iowa ball on the end line with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Iowa is out of challenges and has one timeout remaining.
What Dan was talking about. One more look. Koch has his hand on it, but Boogie Flan's still holding it. It'll be Iowa basketball. Clock starts.
So now you have the ball back, so you got to score. You don't need a three, but you need something quickly.
Boogie Flan has been all over Sturts tonight. Sturts, though, is able to convert with his drive. And now how do you play this defensively if you're Iowa?
Well, I think you got to play it straight up if you're Iowa. You know, they're good free throw shooters out there. There's not a bad one, so you certainly don't want to intentionally foul.
Condon fakes the handoff, lost it, got it back to Houck with 10 on the shot clock. Houck, step back three. It's going to be short. It's an air ball. Battle for the loose ball off the body of Iowa, and Combs with 4.7 to play, 4.7 on the shot clock.
And Ben McCullen's asking his guy over there with the tablet, you know, should he challenge? We don't have any challenges left.
Boogie Flan will inbound. Gets it to Houck. He's got a clean shot. It's no good. Koch with the board. Shot clock is off. 25 seconds to play. One timeout for Iowa. It's Sturts. Sturts driving to the basket. Sturts up off the glass. No good. Ball tipped around. Florida has it. Brown has it. And the foul.
Sturts went in there looking for the foul, and Flan did a pretty good job moving his feet. That's really good defense. He didn't cave in. He didn't let Sturts get by him. Made Sturts shoot over him. Now this is a two-shot foul.
.74% on the year. He makes both. It's still a one-possession game. He missed the first one, so the best it could be is a two-point game with 8.9 to play, which is plenty of time for Iowa.
And Iowa has taken Combs out and put Manyao in, and they did that for rebounding purposes. If he makes make or miss, they're going to call a timeout on the Hawkeyes.
And now the second shot to give Florida a two-point lead, and they do.
Florida calls timeout.
Florida uses its final timeout. The madness of March. It's maddening because there are so many games that come down to the final shots.
Well, that's why they call it March Madness.
Right. Well, and the madness has entered the room here in Tampa.
Well, now, if you're Florida, I think the one thing that's at the top of your list is somebody besides Bennett Sturts has to beat you. You do the best you can to keep the ball out of his hand.
And he's been cold from beyond the arc. He's 0 for 9, but they don't need a three.
They don't need a three. Now, it's possible that they go for a three to go for the win, but you tie the game, and even though you're in foul trouble, if you can tie the game, you take your chances in overtime.
Yeah, he's only had his last game without a three-pointer was the Rutgers game during the Big Ten season. But he's been really held in check by Boogie Flans.
Well, Boogie Flan and a bunch of other guys.
That's
too.
true,
They've done a nice job switching on him. And what the main thing the defense has done has forced Iowa to take a lot of time. Sturtz, he's never been denied the ball. He's always able to get back to it, but sometimes he gets back to it and there's only 6 or 7 seconds left and he's out beyond the logo.
Oh, he's going to start at midcourt. They'll have Koch inbound the ball. Fulgaris is in, Sage is in.
And if you're Florida, you play good defense without fouling.
And Banks is left all the way down by the Iowa bench. And here we go. 8.9 to play. Sturtz with the catch. Sturtz bounce pass to the corner. Fulgaris for 3.
Oh! Oh!
9 to play.
Florida's got no timeouts.
Iowa takes the lead by 1. And a timeout called.
No, I think the officials are checking the clock.
By the officials to make sure the clock is right.
Now the clock stops when the ball clears the net.
Alvaro Fulgaris.
You know what great confidence in Fulgaris.
He's had 2 very good days for Iowa.
Sturtz gets the ball up the court quickly now.
Seconds.
Wow.
It looks like there ought to be more time than that.
4.5 is what they're going to add.
And 4.5 is plenty of time now. And so Iowa has used its final timeout. The clock stops when the ball clears the net. It's out of the net. That's.
And Fulgaris points to the sky. As we mentioned, when he makes a 3, he usually does it in honor of his dad, who passed away when he was 9 years old. And these last couple of days, he's been able to point to the sky a couple different times.
If you're Iowa, what you want to do is, here you get another look at it. Fulgaris does a nice job stepping behind the line. And that was clearly the play.
Yes.
That was clearly the play. So great confidence by Ben McCullin's Fulgaris. What you want to do if you're Iowa is force Florida to catch the ball as far away from the basket as possible.
Now Iowa's going to use its final timeout. Just to kind of see how Florida had it all set up. Well, this has been as good a 1-9 matchup as you will find in college basketball.
I thought they already used their final timeout. I guess not.
I think the other part of it, too, is they're trying to get Combs back in the game. Iowa is. Let's take one more look at this last bucket. I mean, you want to talk about ice water in your veins. Got his feet set. Perfect form.
What a great job by Bennett Sturtz getting the ball up the court and finding him.
All right, so basically the same thing.
If you're Florida, you want to get the ball as far up the court as possible, or at the very least, you want to get it to a guy who's on the run headed toward the basket. 4.5 is plenty of time. You can take the ball and you can dribble it all the way up the court. You know, 4.5 is plenty of time. You can dribble it all the way up the court for a layup. So Iowa, they have to defend. They can't be going for steals. They have to make Florida dribble the ball for as long as possible.
And Florida, by the way, 12 of 17 for the free throw line in this half. 71% for the game. They're 74%. Florida can run the baseline. Condon will inbound it to Lee. Lee across midcourt. Lee speeding toward the basket. Lee leaves it underneath. That's it! Iowa, for the first time since 1999, will head to the Sweet 16 as they knock off the defending national champs. What a scene for Alvaro Fulgaris. His mom watching him play for only the 3rd time in his college career. And she watched him make a game winner.
And Iowa did exactly what they needed to do. They forced Lee to dribble the ball. Now he's going to get there. He's going to try to kick it to Hauk, but he didn't really have enough time. If you're going to keep the ball for that long, you got to take it all the way to the basket.
The 9 seed knocks off the 1 seed.
This is great defensive work by Iowa.
The last time the 9 seed knocked off the 1 seed was Florida State in 2018 when they knocked off Xavier. And what exhilaration for Ben McCollum, who's one of the best postseason coaches in the history of the postseason. And AJ is with Alvaro Fulgaris.
That's right. With the game-winning three-pointer, we saw you point up to the sky to your father like you always do. How sweet is this moment for you and this team?
So sweet, ain't it? Well, it's very special. Yeah, it's special. We went through a lot of moments in the season. I've been in a lot of moments in my life. It's real sweet. My mom is there after a while, after fighting for me, her whole life. And this is really special. March is for the dreamers, and there is no better dreamer than us. So he represents it perfect.
It is for the dreamers, and you were going up against the #1 seed. A lot of people probably counted this team out. How special is it to show just what Iowa basketball is made of?
Well, it's incredible. We got to keep going. We on the 16 best teams in the country, but we trying to keep shocking the world. We are not. We are hungry still. So yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Congratulations. I'm going to grab Bennett Sturts. 27 years ago was the last time Iowa made the Sweet 16. How special is this to make history with this group?
It's super special. I mean, win or lose, give glory to God. He gave me a platform. I just want to go use it for him. And it was my teammates tonight. I don't care how many points I score, and none of us do. It's just about the team, and we're just so unselfish. And everyone stepped up tonight. And Alvaro Fulgaris, I knew he was going to hit that shot for us.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
What an amazing moment for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Their first Sweet 16 since 1999. Ben McCollum is a wizard as a coach. And for the Florida Gators, the defense of their national championship will come to a close with 27 wins. Tune into TNT and True TV now for live second-round games. Coming up on TBS, it's number 5 Texas Tech and Alabama. We'll send you to our studio for Capital One Tournament Central after these messages.